Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's look is a look inspired by an Instagram photo that Kylie Jenner actually posted. Actually, one of my girlfriends tagged me in it and said, hey, can you try to recreate this? Because I want to see how it's done. So I did my best to just look at what I had to work with and stuff I had in my collection and just try to recreate the look as best as I could. And I think that's the fun thing about makeup, is taking inspiration from other people and trying to recreate it on your own. I mean, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. I enjoy it and it's fun. So this is the picture. It's just a gorgeous, very natural kind of look. I mean, she's got this beautiful bronze skin, so that already plays into the look. A very soft but still sharp contour, some nice rosy cheeks. The eyes themselves are just kind of this subtle bronze, and of course the lashes kind of take the show. And then the lips, you know, of course Kylie's lips. It's just this beautiful kind of matte coral color that she's wearing. I didn't have an exact color, but you know, I tried to get as close as I could, but the main thing is just the lips themselves. So yeah, I had a lot of fun recreating this. It was definitely a challenge for me because a lot of this is different than what I would normally wear. I'm definitely a lot tanner than I would normally be, but I kind of like the way it all came together. So if you want to see how I got this Kylie Jenner inspired look, then just keep watching. Okay, so I didn't realize that my camera was off for pretty much this half of my face, so I still have my forehead left to do. Clearly my face is a lot lighter than my body right now because I did some self-tanner on my body, but not my face. So what I'm doing is a mixture of my usual Tarte Amazonian clay in light with these NYX Total Control drops, and this is in the color tan. So this actually ends up bringing it to a nice tan color, which is a lot closer to the Kylie look. So I'm just going to take some of the Tarte foundation on my beauty blender, and then what I've been doing is just taking the NYX drops and just very gently, lightly dropping them, because if you drop too much, it starts running all over your forehead. And then I just start mixing it together, and if I need more of the tan, I just add another little whoop, drop, and then just start buffing it in. I'm going to go ahead and just take it onto my eye as well, since this is such a significant difference than my skin tone. So then for concealer, I'm going to use this Lottie London Got It Covered concealer. This is in the shade Fawn, and when I used it previously, I found that it was a little too dark for my skin tone, so it should be just right for my current fake skin color. And I like that you can kind of start to brush it in with that tip of the brush. Then I'm just going to do the rest with my beauty blender. Okay, and then I'm also going to add just a little bit more up here, a little bit on my chin, again to just act as a bit of a highlight. And a little bit down the bridge of the nose. Okay, and then to set all that, I'm just going to use my Lottie London translucent setting powder. I just really like this stuff. Gigantic fluffy brush. Next up for contour, I'm going to go into this highlight and contour palette from IBY Beauty. This is from, I think, the March BoxyCharm. And I'm just going to use, let's see, I think I'm going to start out with the Contour 3 color and go into the cheekbones. I'm also going to take that same color and dip it into the Contour 2 color and do the forehead. I'm just going to kind of brush it into my hairline because I do still have the dark spots, which, hey, having that tan foundation color actually kind of makes them blend in with my skin tone. So Maybe I should start self-tanning more often. Then, of course, take those two colors also and lightly carve out the jawline. Then I'm going to just take this teeny tiny little brush and go into the dark contour 3 color and contour the nose. Do a little shading underneath the nose just to make it very shorter. Just really blend that in. I'm going to take the contour 1 color, which is a little bit lighter, just to do right up here where the nose meets the eye socket. Okay, very contoured. And last but not least, I'm going to take contour color 1 and do a little bit right below my lip. Because we are going to be going for the overlined Kylie lips, and so this will help just appear bigger. Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of go over some of this with a brush just to make sure it's nice and blended. So now I'm just going to go back into the translucent powder with my beauty blender and just kind of do some light baking / brightening kind of right in this little under eye portion, just patting a good bit in right there. And then I'm also going to take it and cut right down here. I'm not doing anything too heavy. I'm really just more pressing the powder into my skin than anything. But it kind of just helps brighten everything up. And again, right here on the forehead. Then I'm going to take just a little bit on the tip and go up towards my nose and right on the sides. Okay. Okay, now for brows. I definitely want to try to go with a bigger, more Kylie-like brow, not my usual little tiny wimpy brows. So I'm still going to use a lot of my same methods just because I don't have a lot of brow hair, so I kind of use a combination of products just to get the appearance of hairs. So I will just do the same thing here, but bigger. So I'm going to start out with the brow pencil. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of really dark products, but we can kind of just make it dimensional. Plus, I mean, it's not like I've got dark hair, so this will still match me. So I'm going to start out with my Goof Proof brow pencil from Benefit in shade 3, and I'm just going to kind of sketch out what I'm wanting to do, what shape I want to go in. So okay, so she doesn't have a really significant arch, so I just kind of started with the bottom underside, just sketching it out. Luckily it somewhat follows my natural kind of wimpy arch, but now we need to make them thicker. So I'm going to start by just filling in what I normally have, and I'm leaving the beginning portion blank because hers really does a nice little gradient fade in. So I'm going to try to mimic that. So that's normal me. So now let's try to make it a bit more bold. All right, so Next up, what I'm going to do is go in with the Milani Brow Tint Pencil. Now this I do have in a darker color. This is in dark brown. So this is really nice if you want to do some nice little hair strokes. So that's what I'm going to do now, is start going in and making little hair-like strokes. So as you can tell, that made kind of a subtle difference, but not a huge difference. So that is why I like going in with this hard candy brow ink, because this, I feel, I mean, it really looks like you just put hair, you know, where you don't have any. Just a little cleanup on the tail, and it actually looks pretty realistic, at least as much as I can. So I actually have more hair on this side, so it's always a bit easier to do this side. Okay, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that. I think that does a pretty good job of, you know, kind of mirroring what she has without going crazy. Okay, so now for eyes, I'm gonna start by priming my eyes, and I'm just gonna use my original Urban Decay Primer Potion, because the other one has like a really light concealer look to it, and I don't really want that since I've got such a tanned foundation going on. Okay, so the look that she has in the picture is just a very light brown bronzy color with just a nice clean line. So I am gonna add some tape just for that nice crisp edge. Okay, so like I mentioned, her look is just kind of a very light brown bronzy, very natural looking color. So I'm going to use the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar Palette. Where else would you need to go for some nice cool tone neutrals? So I'm going to start by setting the primer on my lid. I'm just gonna start by going into coconut cream and just brush that all over from lid to brow bone. Next up for the transition, I'm going to go into the color Mousse with the same kind of large brush and just start lightly working that through the crease. Now I'm going to go back into that mousse color with just a more tapered brush and focus it right into the crease, back and forth. And then I'm also going to start going across the outer line here. Now to deepen it up, I'm going to go into this shade Truffled. That same brush, but just kind of go gently at first. You just want to be very gentle and just gradually build these shades up. And I am going to start bringing this one a little bit further down onto the lid as well. And kind of make sure that the brow bone has a good bit of color on it too. All right, I'm gonna go back into mousse now and kind of start focusing that on the actual lid just to blend the colors down. And then I'm also gonna take that color and make sure it goes a lot higher up, because she really has, most of her brow bone is kind of a nice brown tone almost, with just a hint of highlighted color. And I'm going to add a little bit of depth right on the outer edge, so I'm going to go into Puddin' with a tapered brush. Focus that just on the outer portion. So for the lid, from what I can tell in the picture, it looks like she might have kind of a nice cool brown shimmer on her lid. So I think I am going to go with Rum Raisin. I think this looks closest to what I feel like I can see her lid color being. And I'm just gonna do a light wash of color. I don't want to wet the brush. I don't want to make this super intense. I just want to make this a light, beautiful shimmer. And I'm basically just putting this all over the lid, and then I'm gonna go back in and blend with the matte shade afterwards. So feel free to go, you know, all the way up to the crease if you want to. We'll blend it out. All right, and then last but not least, so like I said, it looked like she had kind of a nice little highlight underneath her brow bone, and actually this buttered pecan color looks almost like the perfect color to what she has on. So I'm just gonna let it go into that and just pop that under the brow bone, right at the arch. Okay. And like I mentioned, I was gonna go back in with this little brush into mousse just to make sure everything is nice and blended together. Make sure I didn't go too high with that color there. Blend it out here. I'm gonna mix a little bit of this coconut cream color just because I don't feel like her brow bone is that dark. I mean, you can tell there's some brown shadow up on it, but I don't feel like it's as dark as what I've got going on. So I'm just gonna lighten it up with this coconut cream shade. See, that way it still has that nice brown shadow tone up there, but it's not as dark. I think that looks much better. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove the tape and see how our tape held up. And you can always fix, if it doesn't catch everything, you can fix it. So I feel like, ooh. Okay, I feel like it took away a little bit of my foundation, but also I feel like it got a little bit harsh. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use that concealer, since it was a bit of a deeper color. Just use that to fill in the missing spaces. Okay, so like I mentioned, hers is definitely a defined line, but it's not quite as harsh as what this came out with. So I'm gonna start with a clean, dense brush, and I'm gonna just kind of buff that line. All right, and then I also feel like hers isn't kind of as harsh up, so I'm gonna take a little bit of that mousse color and start making just kind of a little bit of my own line, a little bit more angled out. I'm gonna dip into Truffled again, which was the slightly deeper brown. Go over that on both sides and blend in. Like that's a little bit closer. All right, so since we had to kind of take the tape off and do some correcting, it didn't kind of leave us with that sharp line that we wanted. So what I'm gonna do is take just kind of a flat brush for contouring and my nice loose setting powder, and get a good bit on the brush, and then I'm just going to stamp it right where that should be. Okay, we'll just let that sit for a second, give it a nice little bake, and it should help clean up that line. So it didn't look like she had any product on the lower lash, with the exception of maybe some mascara. I'm just gonna go in with my ColourPop Honeydew liner on the lower lash line. Make sure it's nice and bright. Alright, so that just helps brighten up the lower lash line a bit. So now we should be able to brush away this little fake and have just a slightly sharper line. Okay. And then of course the main thing is just some nice big lashes. So I'm gonna apply this off camera because it takes me like 20 times, I swear. Okay, so eyes are done. Now I just want to finish up the cheeks. For blush, she does kind of have like a nice peachy pinky blush on. I'm just going to use my Sweet Peach Glow palette and go into the blush color. And pop that on. She does have a nice little wash of pinky peach color. Then I'm just gonna go ahead and take the highlight as well because she looks like she has more of like a glow, not so much a shimmery highlight, and I do find that this Sweet Peach palette gives more of a glow. Somewhat. What can I say? I don't own many just glowy highlighters. If I buy a highlighter, I want it to highlight. Okay. I am gonna just pop some on the nose and down the bridge. And I'm also gonna take my pencil brush and go into that highlighter and just pop it right in the inner corner because I didn't do a highlight before and it does seem like she has a little bit of brightness right there, so I want to just add something. So now for the lips. All right, for the lips, since this is Kylie Jenner, we're definitely going to be overdrawing our lips. I'm just gonna use a nude pencil just to sketch out the shape I want. This is ColourPop in BFF. And I will say the key to a good overdrawn lip is making sure that the inner corner of your top and bottom lip are actually your lip line. It just helps it look so much more natural. All right, I think that is a good outline. So now for lips, she's got kind of a nice matte coral color on. The closest thing I have is this liquid lipstick from Makeup Monsters. This is in the shade Rebound. Okay, so this is definitely a bit more of a neon matte coral than what she has. So I want to kind of tone it down just a little bit. Plus her lips don't look this like flat matte. So I'm going to go over the top with this Fresh lip balm in Honey. It's just kind of a nice little nude shade. And it'll help kind of give it a little bit of shine and potentially, well hopefully, tone this color down. Alright, so there you go. This is my interpretation of this look that Kylie posted on her Instagram. I love it. It's just beautiful eyes that are just very easy and good for every day. Actually, I'm kind of digging myself with a somewhat tan, so maybe I ought to pick up on some self-tanner. And of course, you can't help but love the large overdrawn lips. I mean, so many of us do it because so many of us wish we had lips like this. So I had fun recreating this look. I think this might be something I try to do every now and then, is when I see a look that I really love or inspires me on Instagram, maybe I will try to recreate it for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this look slash tutorial. Definitely, if you see any other looks like this or something that just seems fun to recreate on Instagram, like I've mentioned before, I've got all my social media linked down below. Feel free to tag me, send me a screenshot picture, whatever you want to do, and I'll try to use that as my next inspirational piece. Don't forget to like and subscribe before you go, and thanks for watching. Bye guys.